this is a pelvis. So we're sitting on our horse's back, right? And inevitably, when your horse is trotting and cantering, your pelvis has to follow and absorb that motion. And the biggest mistake I see riders making is they're bouncing and then they think, oh my gosh, stop bouncing and I need to sit still, and they hold everything, which causes them to bounce more. Hello, today's video is about how to sit in the saddle and move with your horse. And this is really important because, believe it or not, at the trot and the canter, the force on your horse's back more than doubles, which is scary to think about. That means, like, if you weigh 140 pounds at the trot and the canter, you're almost 300 pounds on your horse's back. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you reduce the force on your horse's back. When you're able to really move with your horse's back, then it's going to be more comfortable both for you and for your horse. Today's video is proudly sponsored by Total Saddle Fit. So check out the description box below. I'll share a link where you can check out their products. They have girths. They also have these Squish Pads, which I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So the first tip for reducing the force on your horse's back actually starts before you even get in the saddle. So I'm going to clip over to that and share with you the first tip. Okay, so when we think about it, this is a pelvis. So we're sitting on our horse's back, right? And inevitably, when your horse is trotting and cantering, there's a little bit of bouncing going on. You can imagine that this kind of a bounce is uncomfortable for your horse. So before I even get on, one thing that I consider is that I have a saddle that appropriately fits my horse. And then I also always like to use a Squish Pad from Total Saddle Fit underneath the saddle. And what the Squish Pad does is that it reduces and equalizes the force on your horse's back. So even if you have a saddle that fits correctly, this can be really helpful for if you do bounce a little bit in the saddle, or if for whatever reason your horse's back is changing or you're crooked or whatever. The Squish Pad is scientifically proven to reduce the force on your horse's back by up to 28%. And I really like this because, for one, I know that my horse is more comfortable, and also for me, it seems to smooth things out a little bit easier. It's easier to get my horses to get round. It's easier for me to sit the trot and the canter. So before I even get on my horse, I make sure my saddle is appropriately fitted, that my saddle is sitting straight, that I have my Squish Pad on, and then I also like to use the Total Saddle Fit girths, because these girths enable me to secure my saddle without having to tighten them so much. So they have a nice ergonomic shape, and they also have a little piece of elastic so that your horse can actually breathe. So once I have this set up, then I'm going to get on and I'm going to show you some more tips for how to avoid bouncing in the saddle, how to move with your horse's back when you are in the saddle. All right, so once your saddle is set up and you have your Squish Pad on or whatever kind of padding, you make sure that your saddle is appropriately fitted to your horse. The next thing that's really important in order to move with and to absorb the motion of your horse is your alignment. So if you look at a photo or a video of your riding from the side, what you want to see is that you want to see a straight line from your ear, shoulder, hip to heel. What this does is this puts you in neutral spine. Neutral spine is where you have natural curvature in your spine. And this is really what allows you to absorb the motion of your horse's trot or your horse's canter. So the biggest mistakes that I see, let me know which one you are, is that number one, riders tend to tip forward and their lower legs go too far back, or riders tend to sit too far back in a chair seat and their lower leg goes too far forward. Either one of these alignment issues is going to cause you to bounce even more on your horse's back. So let me show you a quick demo of that. I'll also put in, I have some slow-mo of me doing sitting trot where I'm doing it correctly versus incorrectly. And it's really important that you have the correct alignment so that you can stay in balance with your horse's movement. Of course, it's important at the walk, but it's even more important in the trot and the canter. So if I just go ahead and if I pick up just a nice sitting trot, I really think about looking up. I think about that ear, shoulder, hip, heel alignment, and you can see that I'm staying pretty well connected to my horse. Now, if I tip forward, so if I lean forward, you can see what happens there. My horse goes to the walk, my butt starts coming out of the saddle, and obviously I've just put a lot more force on my horse's back. So the other mistake I see riders making is they go into a chair seat. So a chair seat is like this, where your lower leg is too far forward and you're leaning too far back. And again, this creates a lot of rigidity in your spine. So you're not absorbing the motion. You're not able to follow the motion. So make sure that you keep ear, shoulder, hip, heel. Same thing goes for rising trot. So if you're in the rising trot, you still have that same ear, shoulder, hip, heel. And same thing in your canter. You want to have that correct alignment, ear, shoulder, hip, heel, so that you can absorb the motion of your horse. Good boy. Okay, so the other thing that's important about alignment is it's something that you have to check in with all the time. So every time you ride a transition or you do something a little difficult, you are probably going to end up tipping forward or sitting too far back. So check your alignment. Make sure that you're in that correct alignment so that you can absorb the motion of your horse's back. My third tip in order to move with your horse and is what we call the illusion of stillness. So what I mean by that is that if you see a really good rider doing the sitting trot, it looks like they're sitting still. So if you are watching someone and they're sitting the trot, they look like a centaur, right? It looks like they're sitting perfectly still. But the secret is that you're actually moving a lot. So to sit the trot here, my hips are moving, my back is moving, my belly is a little bit moving, my ankles are a little bit moving, my elbows are moving, my fingers are moving. I'm just trying to move in perfect harmony with my horse. If I try to sit still, so now I'm sitting still, I've locked everything up, and look what's happening. Like I'm bouncing, my horse is very unhappy. So in order to move with your horse, it's important that you understand that you have to have flexibility. And the places that you need the most flexibility are in your hips and your lower back, right? So that whatever your horse's back is doing, in the trot, it's going mostly up and down like this. In the canter, it's more of a swinging wave-like motion. But however your horse's back is moving, that is how your seat bones and your pelvis, remember I showed you the little video of your pelvis in the saddle, your pelvis has to follow and absorb that motion. And the biggest mistake I see riders making is they're bouncing and then they think, oh my gosh, stop bouncing and I need to sit still, and they hold everything, which causes them to bounce more. Once again, big thank you to Total Saddle Fit for sponsoring today's YouTube video. Don't forget to check out the description box if you want to get one of these awesome Squish Pads or one of their ergonomic girths. One thing that I love about Total Saddle Fit is that all of their products are about optimum comfort for your horse, which I think is so important. You know, we want our horses to be comfortable because when your horse is comfortable, they're more cooperative, they're more relaxed, and they're easier to ride. Justin is here today from Total Saddle Fit. I started riding in what he calls the Squish Pad a few months ago, and I definitely feel like it's helped reduce like any kind of bouncing. Can you tell me a little bit about the material? Like, what is this? It's very squishy.
Besides the the squish foam on the inside. It's basically 2 layers of squish foam with a thin layer of wool felt in the center is what makes up the actual padding of the pad. And on the top, you have like a microfiber that'll grip the saddle, so the saddle's less prone to slip around. And on the bottom, you have like a medical grade fleece that is just super soft to the touch for your horse.
Awesome. Yeah, so I've always used the fleece pads, but now I've been converted into using the Squish Pads, and they're really nice. They also come in black because I get everything super dirty, so I'm definitely going to be getting a few black ones as well. Thank you, Justin.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for telling us about your awesome product. I hope that those 3 tips are helpful for you. Definitely check out Total Saddle Fit. Get one of these Squish Pads. They're really, really great. They help my horses and myself so much just to feel more balanced. And I feel better knowing that even if I don't sit perfect, that this pad helps to equalize the force. And then when you are riding, make sure that you have the correct alignment. Make sure that you're moving with your horse, and you consciously have to think about that. You consciously have to remind yourself to move and to breathe and to scoop your hips and to follow that motion. Otherwise, we all end up locking up. And then when you lock up, you're bouncing and you're putting even more force on your horse's back. So I hope this video is helpful. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another training video.